Social acceptance is a big insecurity for many. This includes feeling insecure about being liked or accepted by others, fitting in with specific social groups, or being left out or excluded from others. When I was a teenager, I always felt alone. I never quite fit into any group and kind of bounced from one group or clique to the other and never really found a place I seemed to belong. I had friends in the jocks, I had friends with the nerds, I had friends with every group imaginable, but I never found my tribe. You see, my insecurities were rooted in a fear of judgment and rejection. I often found myself overthinking every interaction, worrying about whether I was saying the right things or fitting in with others. It made me feel anxious, self conscious, and reluctant to engage. For years, I tried to be what those around me wanted me to be. I tried to fake a persona that left me unsatisfied and feeling even more alone than I was before. It wasn't until I discovered a piece of wisdom in a quote from Carl Jung that I began to consider perhaps I was going about things the wrong way. Carl Jung famously said, "Where your fear is, there is your task." I was afraid to be me, so my task, obviously, was to be me. And so I endeavored to become me. I wasn't cool and great with women the way my brother was. I was not strong and funny like my other brother. I wasn't fierce and deviously cunning in the ways of the streets, the way my mother wanted me to be. I was quite thoughtful, a bookworm, and an overthinker. But one day I decided that enough was enough. I was tired of letting my insecurities control my life and limit my potential. I realized that if I wanted to overcome my insecurities, I needed to take massive action and face my fears head on. So I walked up to a beautiful girl in the mall, and right in front of her, a large group of friends and some other guys, I asked her for her number. She covered her face with both her hands and said, "Oh my God, this is so not happening. Not him." She turned and quickly walked away, her friends giggling and throwing me looks that said, "I can't believe you just did that." I was devastated when I heard the jeers and the laughs of the other boys. I was destroyed by the time I got home and mortified when the news spread through school the next day. I went home and laid in my bed and I cried. What had I done wrong? I was myself. I was confident. What was wrong with me? I didn't know. I did keep fighting though. And in the months to come, and in the next year, I tried to go to parties, but I walked through them like a ghost. I felt completely encapsulated in an impenetrable cylinder of aloneness. While outside my force field, other kids danced, made out, laughed, and enjoyed their youth. I was determined to figure out what everyone else seemed to instinctually understand so naturally. I turned to a good friend of mine named John, who always seemed to thrive in social settings, who seemed to be able to walk up and talk to anyone and hold a conversation. After picking his brain and figuring out the way he thought, I soon discovered that many of my insecurities were simply products of my own negative thoughts and assumptions rather than actual reflections of how others perceived me. I had a bad voice in my head, and it was my own voice. And that voice doubted my worth and feared judgment from others. But I learned to begin to challenge that voice every chance I got. When it said I was ugly, I told myself I was not. When it told me I was stupid, I said to myself that I was smart. When it told me I was unworthy of attention, I demanded more from those around me. And little by little, over the months and years to come, I shut that voice up and stepped out of my comfort zone and into my life. I asked another girl for her number, and mentally prepared for the pain. But she just said she had a boyfriend. Well, that was better than a total giggling humiliation. I joined some clubs at school and inserted myself into group activities whenever they arose. With each failure, I redoubled my resolve, and with my friend John pushing me, each small success, like starting a conversation with a stranger or sharing my ideas in a group setting, raised my confidence. Until one day a girl did give me her number, and one day I could stand in front of the class and speak with confidence. I could walk into a party, make jokes, and have all eyes on me and not want to turn and run as fast as I can down the street. Through perseverance and support and repeated trial and error, I slowly started to break free from the grip of crippling social insecurity. It wasn't easy, and sometimes the voice still whispers to me. But I discovered that people were way more accepting and supportive than I ever believed. I learned to embrace my own vulnerabilities and be authentic, and I found that others often responded positively to this. I became more comfortable in my own skin and empowered to express my own opinions and pursue my passions outwardly without fear or judgment. I formed deep connections with others who were like me, and I found myself surrounded by a supportive and diverse circle of friends, and they have been by my side for the last 30 plus years. And while my insecurities still might arise again from time to time, on a scale of 1 to 10, now they usually range around a 2. I now possess the tools to face all my insecurities, tools forged by making myself be social repeatedly, tools forged by embracing my own uniqueness, tools forged by valuing my worth and maintaining a positive mindset about who I am. Almost anyone can overcome social insecurities and thrive in this world of connections and relationships. You don't have to live out your life in a cylinder of aloneness. You can be you, and you can be accepted for that you that is you, primarily because there is no other you in the all of space and time. Negative thoughts about who I was nearly destroyed me. And if you deal with these as well, I encourage you to go watch my other video about how to deal with negative thoughts. I'm pretty good in social settings now, though I will admit I'm not ever super comfortable in them. People tend to drain me, but I can start a conversation with a stranger, and I even did so today, and they turned out to be great. Now you go do it. I challenge you to talk to 3 strangers tomorrow. Just walk up to them and talk about anything. If you do, I guarantee you'll have a wise day. Thank you for listening.